Hi there, my name is Paula Sturm, and I'm a registered dietitian and functional medicine nutritionist and the owner of Radically Nourished. And in this tip today, we're going to talk about sleep and sleep supplements and give you some tips on those and bring in some foods as well. So, why do we want to talk about sleep? Well, sleep is incredibly important. It's the foundation for health. Sleep is critical for our immune system function, our brain health, hormonal balance, and overall well being altogether, including just digestive health. When sleep falls short, when we don't get that quality sleep, we can end up fatigued, have brain fog. Oftentimes, our sugar cravings are worse. We can experience weight gain. We'll experience poor digestive function and a weaker immune system. So it's really important, and sleep is critical, and a lot of people struggle with it. And so sometimes some supplements can be beneficial. These supplements can help provide gentle support for better sleep without the dependency and risk of synthetic sleep aids or medications. And oftentimes, if we figure out what is beneficial for you, we might understand some underlying issues. Is it stress that's impacting your sleep? Is it anxiety? Maybe you're just magnesium deficient altogether. And addressing those areas and sometimes bringing in some supplements that help with anxiety or reducing stress can be helpful for you to get better sleep. So let's talk about some natural supplements that support sleep. So these would be either supplements or teas, but magnesium, probably the most common and one that we will try most often. Magnesium helps calm the nervous system, relaxes muscles, and regulates melatonin production. And that's why it can be so helpful for sleep. And there's different types of magnesium, but magnesium glycinate is best for sleep. And we want to try to avoid magnesium citrate, especially if you're prone to digestive upset or diarrhea. And best to take between 2 and 400 milligrams 30 to 60 minutes before bed. I take it away from a higher fat meal, usually right before bed. Melatonin. Why would we want to use melatonin? Melatonin is a hormone that regulates the sleep-wake cycle and is especially helpful for jet lag or shift work. And so it can be used wonderfully if you're traveling time zones. It can be great to help regulate your circadian rhythm. So how to use? You want to use a really low dose, something more physiological, a zero point 0.3 to 1 milligram dose and no more. Oftentimes you'll see melatonin supplementations like 10 milligrams, and that's way too high. And you want to take it about 30 minutes before bedtime to avoid grogginess. You don't want to take it too early in the evening, otherwise you'll be falling asleep too soon. Melatonin is great to help you fall asleep. It doesn't necessarily keep you asleep all night. So you want to use melatonin occasionally rather than nightly to avoid reliance on it, and best to choose a plant-based version instead of a synthetic melatonin. Then we have L-theanine, and where you can find this is in green tea most commonly, and it's an amino acid that promotes relaxation and reduces anxiety without sedation. So this is a great one you can take in green tea and drink that during the day, and it can help just kind of lower the anxiety level. So if you're someone that tends towards anxiety, or what's nice about having this in green tea, there's a little caffeine, and the theanine, L-theanine can help balance that out so you don't get the jitters. But you can also use it to help you fall asleep. You can take 100 to 200 milligrams in the evening or combine it with magnesium for enhanced effects. Then there's valerian root. I like to use this one in more of a tea form. It does come in capsules, but I think a tea is nice. And it's more of a traditional herbal remedy that helps calm the mind and reduce stress and helps you fall asleep faster. Use it in a tea, one tea bag, or a combination with a blend of valerian and some other like chamomile. But if you do a capsule, use 3 to 600 milligrams about an hour before bed. Then we have the amino acid GABA, and this is or not an amino acid, it's a neurotransmitter, the GABA, that helps calm the brain. It's more of a neurotransmitter that puts the brakes on more of those excitatory hormones. So it helps reduce overthinking and promotes relaxation. So that nighttime anxiety or monkey mind, sometimes GABA can be really helpful, or things that can help your body produce GABA. So you want to supplement between 50 to 100 milligrams of GABA to ease that nighttime anxiety. Then we have things like ashwagandha, which is an adaptogenic herb that helps lower cholesterol level, or not cholesterol, cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, and it does help promote better sleep. You want to look for varieties that are KSM 66 or sensorol extracts and take between 300 to 600 milligrams in the evening. And then passion flower. I really like passion flower in a tea. There's a one by Traditional Medicinals. It's a blend with passion flower and I think chamomile. It's one of their nighty night teas. But passion flower is known for reducing anxiety and improving sleep quality by increasing GABA. So you could use passion flower as a tea to increase your own GABA neurotransmitter. So you want to brew as a tea, or you could take 200 to 400 milligrams as a supplement before bed. And like I said, that nighty night tea by Traditional Medicinals is one of my favorites. So these are just some suggestions. These are just educational to get better understanding what would work best for you. It would be best to consult with a dietitian like myself or your doctor or someone to give you more advice on what would be particularly beneficial for you, because you don't want to take all of these all at once, right? You don't want to mix multiple ones. You could end up with some unexpected interactions or be super groggy. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right things for what you need help for. So this is more for educational purposes only, to give you some insight of maybe what to look into further or what to ask questions on. So some tips here for choosing the right one is to start slow and low and begin with the lowest possible dose and gauge how your body responds, and start with one thing at a time. And again, don't mix too many multiple things. You want to choose high quality products, look for third-party tested brands that are free of fillers and additives, more professional quality supplements. And consistency matters. Well, supplements work immediately like melatonin. Others like adaptogens like ashwagandha may require regular use for weeks in order to get the maximum benefits. And you also want to make sure you have good sleep hygiene. If you don't have a good sleep routine, you can't expect the supplements to work best. So you want to use the supplements as sort of a cherry on top of a really good sleep hygiene routine. So making sure you have consistent bedtime, making sure you have a cool, dark room, making sure that you have some sort of routine where you wash your face, make a cup of tea, turn the lights down, really making sure that you're honoring your sleep and your body. And then there's some things to avoid. Again, like I was mentioning, mixing multiple supplements at once, this can lead to some grogginess or unintended interactions. You don't want to take heavy doses of melatonin. This can disrupt your natural production or because of the overdose, because again, that physiological dose is pretty low. And then you want to try to avoid stimulants in the evening. So avoid caffeine and energy drinks, and these are going to counteract the benefits of the sleep supplements. So sometimes people are super sensitive to caffeine, and if they're drinking caffeine at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, even they're thinking, oh, well, it's early afternoon. It'll wear off by the time I go to sleep. That might not be the case. So you might want to look into what's my caffeine intake. That might be what's impacting your sleep more than anything else. So evaluate your caffeine intake. Maybe you're having too much. Even having too much in the morning could impact your sleep for that night. So some people are just massively sensitive to caffeine. So evaluate that. And then let's look at some foods that you can pair with these supplements that might help them work a little better. Magnesium works best with foods that support its absorption and relaxation properties, like dark leafy greens. So having at dinner, having a spinach salad or sauteed Swiss chard, something like that at dinner. Nuts and seeds are also helpful. Almonds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds are great for like a topping on a salad or having as a little handful before bed. And bananas, a pre-bedtime snack that combines magnesium and calming carbs, can be another added benefit to help you sleep better. Melatonin supplements are complemented by melatonin-rich foods. And sometimes, if you want to start with these melatonin-rich foods before you start off with melatonin, that can be a great option too. Tart cherry juice is really high in naturally occurring melatonin. And so you could do a little shot of dark cherry juice in the evening, and that might be enough melatonin for you to help you fall asleep faster. Oats contain melatonin precursors, which could be a part of an evening meal. Walnuts are also a great snack to have that little extra melatonin support. L-theanine, which is found naturally in green tea, pairs well in with other foods like dark chocolate, maybe having a little square of dark chocolate as an evening snack while you have a cup of like a passionflower tea. And then you can make little green tea infused dishes. You can make green tea or matcha broths or soups or oats or chia seed puddings as a treat in the afternoon. Valerian root works best alongside things that are earthy and have other calming effects. You could stir in a little honey into some valerian root tea for a nice bedtime drink. You can combine valerian and chamomile together, and oftentimes there are sleepy tea blends that combine those two together. GABA supports relaxation and pairs well with foods that promote calm in general. So fermented foods like kimchi, sauerkraut, miso foods are also gut friendly and can help with that neurotransmitter production. And almond butter, you could maybe have a little pre-bed snack where a little toast and a little almond butter along with that GABA can be supportive. And ashwagandha pairs best with foods that reduce stress. You could make a golden milk, and sometimes there's powders that already have like a combination of ashwagandha and turmeric and cinnamon, and you can make a warm drink with almond milk and have that as a bedtime snack. And dates are a natural sweetener, and that you could make little ashwagandha and date energy balls and maybe have one of those at night as a pre-bedtime snack. So other tips for pairing foods with supplements, you want to avoid high fat meals with some supplements. While healthy fats are great for fat soluble vitamin absorption, large amounts of fat may delay absorption for water soluble supplements like magnesium. So taking magnesium at dinner time, you might not get the benefit of it. So taking it later, closer to bed when your meal has digested. And then you want to focus in on whole foods. For this reason and many others, combine supplements with nutrient-dense foods to support overall health in general, and timing matters. Some foods and supplements work better when taken in the evening, such as those promoting melatonin and relaxation. So you want to be careful taking some of those too early in the afternoon, as you might get a little too groggy too early. All right, well, I hope you found this super helpful. And again, if you have questions on what would work best for you, consult a practitioner to help you choose the best options. And again, for educational purposes only. All right, and I hope you enjoy.